Tokyo Revengers is a character-driven mystery where the protagonist iteratively goes back and forth between the past and the future to save his ex-girlfriend from being thrown into an isekai world by a yakuza group. So he has to destroy or at least erode a criminal organisation called Tomen, which started off as a relatively innocent gang which tortured him in his childhood, making him into a doormat as an adult. So the thing which makes this feel good are the interesting characters who all have their own backstories, talents and motivations that are engaging and unstable enough to be good characters. Especially the plans where the main character tries to decriminalise them are pretty tense, and it's always interesting to see the differences in their future before and after the protagonist meddles in their lives. It's a weird character growth because of the time travel gimmick. You see the pivotal moments of the characters' lives and then what that does to them in the far future. So it's kind of like character development extrapolated, which can create a stark contrast in people from one future to another. And sometimes it doesn't go how you think it will. And the past is kind of written like a Persona game, except everyone is kanji, where they have X amount of time before an event happens to do investigation work and build social links, and then you either have to clear some miasma from the gang, prevent a murder or steal someone's heart. Always with the power of friendship or by turning into a door or something stupid, not proper planning. Like when the protagonist knows that one of his friends is going to be stabbed in a brawl, and despite him being pretty weak and small, the only plan that he comes up with is to just prevent the stabbing, which could happen at any time. Like first of all, he's not trained and he's weak as shit. Why not bring bandages or tell someone trustworthy and dependable, or just convince or trick the friend not to come on that day? Or at least give him a clear warning that he's going to be stabbed rather than having your only plan be to use your weak body to defend your incredibly strong friend from gangsters with knives during a brawl. So the friend does get stabbed, but because the angle is different, he's able to fight off like 20 experienced gang members despite the fact that he should be bleeding out and dying. Then the tiny MC picks him up and jostles his abdominal stab wound against his back for 5 to 10 minutes while slowly walking away because he's so weak. And the time travel gimmick is either not well thought through or not well explained. The rule is that when he holds hands with his ex-girlfriend's little brother, he can go back and forth between the future by 12 years. But the first time he went, the brother was dead. So the rule wasn't consistent from the start. Like one of the times he falls comatose while he's in the past, but another time he lives his life as normal. And what does his past self remember? Because he forms a bunch of relationships, and wouldn't it be weird if one of your best friends completely forgot about your existence for like a week, and then the next week he completely remembered until eventually all those memories just leave them for 12 years? Shouldn't the MC be making a diary to explain this to his other consciousness? And if he remembers no one from the gang and doesn't have the motivation to be the guy who was in the gang, who was willing to get the beaten out of him all the time, how does he stay in the gang to become a gang leader? And also, why does no one question the fact that Takemicchis is a fucking time traveler close to the end? And why are they so nonchalant about the fact that time travel exists? So if you ignore all the plot-holy, ridiculous thought processy, dumb character aggrandizing stuff, then you find a super interesting character-driven manga, which I almost forced myself to read because I was so excited to see what would happen in the next chapter. So overall, it's very good. Leave a like and a comment.